Bonjour, un grand bonjour à vous tous. Comment ça va? J'espère que vous pétez la forme. Alors, today we are going to do some work, oral work, speaking, because you know that your exam is pretty soon. For those who are taking CSEC exams, it's going to be next month. For those who are taking other speaking exams, it may be later, but still, you need to practice. So for this, I have invited two ladies. And I'm sorry, guys, I wanted a guy, but no guy wants to be with me live. Why? I don't know, because I know that some guys speak French very well. So I don't know what's happening, but I had to get the girls. So let's meet them, shall we? Alors, bonjour.
Bonjour tout le monde. Je m'appelle Christine McGee et je viens de la Jamaïque. J'ai 16 ans. Et mon école est le lycée de St. Andrew à Kingston, en Jamaïque.
Très bien, merci. Et nous avons quelqu'un qui est aussi du même collège. D'accord? Donc, vous la connaissez déjà. You know her already. Rihanna. Do you want to say a few words, Rihanna, again?
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Rihanna et j'ai 16 ans. Je suis de St. Andrew High School for Girls à Kingston, en Jamaïque aussi.
D'accord. Bien, so these two ladies are very brave, okay, but I'm sure they realize that it's important to do some practice because you will be getting some feedback, automatic feedback, you know, you'll get it straight away, immediate feedback, I meant. All right, so what we're going to do first, we're going to just have a little passage which I've written especially for you guys. Okay, so I've divided the text into two parts since I have two guests. We are not going to spend time on reading because today that's not what we are here for, is for the questions. But I think that you can do with some practice. And Kristen, I'm sure you will be happy to do some practice. So we're going to do that. And after, it will be just questions. So I'm going to ask the questions and they're going to answer. That's it. And after that, that will be it. Okay? There will be another live closer to the date, but I think that it's always good to practice from now. You don't want to practice just the day before. All right? Bien. So I'm going to share. Je vais partager mon écran. Okay, I'm going to share my little text. By the way, they haven't seen the text, so they have no clue as to what is in store for them. Okay, so we're going to ask Kristen. Okay, so I'm just giving you one little second to look at it quickly since you haven't had any practice. And while she's doing that, I just would like to remind everyone that today is the 20th of March. And you know what that means, the 20th of March? La journée de la francophonie. Yes, it's the Francophonie Day. Okay, so it is on a Sunday today, but it's Francophonie Day. So I just wanted to let you know. And I've also released a video on Africa. So this year I'm just focusing on Africa because you know that African speakers are the most, I mean, when we talk about numbers, is Africa. So that's the reason why I decided to do this video on Africa. So have a look at it if you haven't, and don't forget to like it, okay, and to share it. Okay, so Kristen, are you ready? Tu es prête? Ok. Vas-y.
Jean-Pierre était inquiet. Sa femme n'était toujours pas rentrée. Il faisait mauvais. Il y avait des inondations. Le tonnerre ne cessait de gronder. Le téléphone s'est mis à sonner et Jean-Pierre était encore plus inquiet. Il a déroché. Une voix féminine était au bout du fil. Serait-ce sa femme, par hasard? Non, c'était quelqu'un qui s'était trompé de numéro. Il a soupiré, déçu.
Not bad at all, not bad at all. You can read, girl. That's very good. Okay, I'm just going to tell you where you made some mistakes, okay? Inquiet, not inquiet, okay? The pronunciation of inquiet is I-N. Remember, un is okay? Inquiet. Sa femme, I think you said sa femme correctly the first time, but not the second time. So it's femme, okay, for the pronunciation. Okay, Kristen?
D'accord, madame.
Okay. You didn't make a liaison between des and inondation. You cannot say des inondations. Des inondations. So you have to remember that when you have les or des plus a noun, the liaison is compulsory. You have no choice over the matter. Des inondations. OK? Et le tonnerre ne cessait. Cessait. I'm not sure what you said, but I didn't feel that it was like cessait. Okay? You didn't fall into the trap. I think there was a trap here. I can't remember where it was. Était encore plus inquiet. You didn't, you did it correctly. That was my trap de plus. Okay, il a décroché. Then you said un voix. It's not un voix, it's une. Okay, so you have to remember UN is un and UNE is une. Une voix féminine. Okay, une voix féminine était au bout du fil and not bout. Bout. Now, to have the sound boot, which I don't think the word boot exists, but to get that sound, Kristen, you would have needed to have an E at the end. So you have to remember that when you have a word ending with a T, you don't pronounce it normally unless you have an E. If you have an E after the T, yes, you have to pronounce the T, okay? But there's no E there, so you shouldn't pronounce it. All right? I think that's what that's all I think I can remember. Okay. I'm just going to stop sharing very quickly and go into, I'm just going to ask Marvin Jackson if he's happy with the reading. So please write something and we're going to see. Kristen, did you understand what you've read?
I think I understood it, but I also wasn't like grasping it fully in like that short time. I was trying to get through.
Okay, remember, Kristen, is that on the day you're going to have 10 minutes preparation, so you have plenty of time to work out what the text means, okay? Here, we are live. I don't have time to give you 10 minutes, but you did very well, because, you know, you didn't even have time to think about what the text was all about, okay? So your teacher is saying, oui, pas mal, oui, so that's good. Merci, Marvin. Okay, so now I'm going to share again, but this time for Rihanna, and that is going to be the second part, okay? And of course, with my little traps, Rihanna. So I'm going to give you some traps. So I'm giving you one little second to look at all this. Okay, in the meantime, Kristen Vincia Languedoc is saying bonne lecture, Kristen. So that's very good. Okay. And of course, I'm saying bonjour to everyone. All right. So we need to remember that today it's not about reading, it's about questions. However, I just felt that it would be good to continue with the reading, because reading sometimes is a problem for some students. So at least now we have something totally different with some difficulties as well. So it's to give you the opportunity to read something different again. All right, so Rihanna, tu es prête?
Oui, madame.
Ok, alors vas-y.
Plus il s'inquiétait, plus il se demandait s'il devait sortir. On avait annoncé un cyclone. Sa femme avait oublié son portable, donc elle ne pouvait pas le joindre. Apparemment, la montée des eaux avait empêché certains véhicules de bouger. C'est ce que rapportait le journaliste de programme à la radio, tout en une seconde. S'il arrivait à la retrouver dans toute ce chaos, il serait un héros.
Okay, très bien. There were some traps. You didn't fall into all my traps. You fell into the first one, but you did very well too. Okay, so I'm just going to correct a little bit. Okay, the first one, Rihanna, when you have plus twice, you don't pronounce the S. Plus il s'inquiétait, plus il se demandait s'il devait sortir. Okay, so when you see plus twice, it means the more ta 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 ta, the more ta 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 ta. So when that's what it means, you don't pronounce the S. Okay? All right.
Oui,
so
madame.
that was the first one. Why did you stumble on? Why did you hesitate? You said il s'inquiétait. Why did you do it like that? Do you know the word?
I know it means when he's worried or when he was like worried.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. But because I saw
But
the
why did you
accent,
hesitate?
I'm not sure. Maybe because I saw the accent and I see the T, then the AIT. So I was
Okay.
Sankiete. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Have you noticed that I'm using the past tense, which is often used in CXC texts, especially the imperfect, and very often students mispronounce the ending of the imperfect. So that's why it's there. Okay. Donc, plus il s'inquiétait, plus il se demandait. Okay. After that, it was very good. You said la montée des eaux, so you put it very well together. Okay. Empêcher, to prevent, is empêcher. It sounded a little bit like you wanted to say un instead of en. I'm not sure. Empêcher. And I think I heard an H in véhicule. Okay, so
Oui,
véhicule,
madame.
the H is silent. Okay. Donc, apparemment, la montée des eaux avait empêché certains véhicules de bouger. So when you read, of course, you're not going to read the same way I did it. You would say, apparemment, la montée des eaux avait empêché certains véhicules de bouger. So you keep the rhythm going, okay? There's no stopping, okay? Then there was this second, which was my other trap, and you didn't fall into it. So that was good. However, you fell into the last sentence. The last sentence was definitely a trap, okay, with the two, chaos and hero, okay. But I think you said hero without a problem, so that's very, very good. S'il arrivait à la retrouver dans tout, remember what I said to Kristen, if you have a T without an E, remember the T silent, for that T to be pronounced, you must have an E. Remember that.
Oui,
So if it
madame.
was T-O-U-T-E, then you would have said toot, but there's no E there. Now, the word tout ce, K-O, the S is silent, okay? K-O. That's the pronunciation. Donc, s'il arrivait à la retrouver dans tout ce chaos, il serait un héros. And I do say un héros and not an héros, okay? Because héros, you don't have that link, that liaison, okay, with that H. Okay, so that's it for the text. Any questions, any comments? Yes, so Dolshan, yes, it's a good practice. Yes, yes, definitely good practice. Always trying to put some traps for you. That's the way it works, you know. All right. So how are you feeling, girls?
Miss
Kristen,
Anne.
you okay? And Kristen,
Feeling all right. Yes, miss,
you're
I'm feeling
doing all
all
right. Okay, not too nervous, Kristen?
Working on it.
Okay, I know, I know. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm not going to tell you the topics, okay? I'm going to really make it easy at the beginning because I feel that, you know, we need to kind of warm up. So we're going to have that. And after that, questions are going to be a little bit more challenging, okay? Who wants to start with the first question? Is it Kristen or is it Rihanna?
Kristen is the star today.
Okay, start. Okay, so Kristen. All right, so those questions are so easy that when I'm going to ask you the questions, I want bam, bam, bam. Okay? I say bam, you go bam. Just like that.
Oui, madame.
Can we have that? All right. Kristen, comment t'appelles-tu?
Je m'appelle Kristen Maggie.
Rihanna, comment tu t'appelles?
Je m'appelle Rihanna Mambi.
OK. Kristen, comment épelles-tu ton nom? Ton nom de famille.
Le nom de ma famille est Maggie. Le nom de mon famille est Maggie. C'est correct?
OK, je répète la question. Comment ça s'appelle? Comment épelles-tu ton nom de famille?
Je m'appelle Kristen Maggie. Et mon famille s'appelle Maggie.
OK, pas tout à fait. OK, Rihanna, do you know the answer?
Non, madame.
No?
No.
Okay, I'm going to write it in the comment. When you're going to see, you're going to say, oh, that's what she meant. Okay, let me put it in, yeah, you can see it. Comment épelles-tu ton nom de famille? So now, do you understand the question, Kristen?
Not fully. I don't know
Not
the word.
fully? Okay. What about you, Rihanna? So I've chosen a good question then. Rihanna, do you understand the question?
Is it, how do you spell your family name?
Oh.
Okay, so be careful because épeler has one L, okay? But because you have comment épelle, so we're going to have the sound L, just like the L you have in chi in French. So that's the reason why you see two L's. But the infinitive form of that verb is épeler, okay? Donc, comment épelles-tu ton nom de famille? Okay. And Kristen, it's not nom, it's non. Okay, so you don't pronounce the M. The OM is a sound in itself and it's on. Okay? Comment épelles-tu ton nom de famille?
Answer now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ça s'écrit M-C-J-H-I-E.
Très bien. Je dis ça, mais I'm not sure about the name, but I'm assuming you know how to spell it. Okay, sans Dulshan. Yes, ça s'écrit. So this is the expression you need to use. Ça s'écrit Dulshan. Okay? Ça va? Now, the reason why I gave you comment épelles-tu ton nom de famille is because very often they ask you your name and then they may say something like comment ça s'écrit, which I'm going to write now. Comment ça s'écrit? So, yes, you understand comment ça s'écrit, but what if on the day they decide to change it to comment épelles-tu ton nom de famille? Which means, I mean, in terms of the answer, is the same. But it's a bit like the question with the name. Comment t'appelles-tu? Tu t'appelles comment? Sometimes the students don't recognize the question. Okay? Ça va? Ok, Rihanna. Où es-tu née?
Je suis née à l'hôpital Jubilee.
Okay, all right. I'm going to tell you to really, when you have that question, okay, where were you born? Just say the place. The hospital, we're not too interested in the hospital, okay? And most people are born in a hospital, okay? So we're not going to want the name of the hospital, but you would say the name of the town, maybe, and the country, okay? That's how you need to answer that question. Can you try again?
Ok. Je suis née à Kingston, en Jamaïque.
Voila. Okay, that's how you need to answer that question. Okay, otherwise you don't want any hospital in there. Okay. If you
Oui.
want me to write the questions, let me know. I'm not going to write all the questions because some of them are so easy. Like, what's your name? I didn't feel that I should write that question. You should know by now. Otherwise, you would have a serious problem. Okay? Bien. Christine, décris-moi ta famille.
Moi, famille, euh, il y a 4 personnes dans ma famille. I feel like I'm missing something.
Okay, it's not that you're missing something. It's just when you have a question with décris-moi, we expect a few sentences.
Oh, so, okay. So, should I try again?
So when you say décris-moi ta famille, I'm putting it right here in the chat. We expect, okay, il y a dans ma famille, mon père, ma mère, nanana, and you can say a few things if you want, but you can't just say il y a 4 personnes dans ma famille.
Okay,
That's why I didn't continue because I expected more.
Okay. So, dans mon famille,
Dans, for the pronunciation.
dans ma famille, il y a ma mère, mon père, mon petit frère et moi.
Okay, so it's better to say a little bit more. Okay, and maybe the person would say, et quel âge a ton frère? Toujours for Kristen. Quel âge a ton frère?
Mon frère a 13 ans.
That's it. Okay, so you need to practice to be like that. Okay. Mr. Jackson says, Kristen, no need to be nervous. Okay, so you don't need to be nervous. You know, we're just the 3 of us here. All right. Okay. I'm talking to Rihanna. Rihanna, comment est ta maison? Ou ton appartement?
Alors, ma maison est grande avec les murs bleus. Il y a 5 chambres et il est situé près d'une ville.
You said il. What is il?
Désolée, ma maison est située près d'une ville.
Okay. All right. So you have to be careful. Maison is feminine, and you know it because you said ma maison. So you have to remember that it's elle. Elle est située. Okay?
Oui, madame.
All right. Okay. So, comment est ta maison? I'm going to type this because it's the comment. Sometimes students are not too sure. Okay. Comment est ta maison? I put maison. You could have been in an apartment. I didn't know. Okay. But comment est ta maison or comment est ton appartement? Okay. When you say comment, I know comment means how, but here it's basically to talk about your house. Okay. So the way you did it is was correct. Okay, you say it's a house. You give a color. You gave number of rooms. That's exactly what we after. Okay.
Oui, madame.
Ok. Christine, as-tu un animal domestique à la maison?
Oui, j'ai 2 chiens à ma maison.
Comment s'appellent tes chiens?
Ils s'appellent Missy et Ivan.
D'accord. Très bien. So you see, she understood. Okay. So I asked whether or not she had any pets. She said yes, 2 dogs. And then straight away, I asked a question and she was able to answer the question. Très bien, très bien, très bien. Alors, Rihanna, qui fait la cuisine à la maison?
Ma mère fait la cuisine à ma maison.
D'accord. Et toi, tu fais la cuisine de temps en temps?
De temps en temps, je cuisine le déjeuner et le dîner à ma maison.
D'accord. Et quel type de cuisine fais-tu?
Je cuisine les sandwichs, du riz.
Oh, c'est pas de la cuisine, des sandwichs.
Et parfois, les repas de ma grand-mère.
Tu cuisines les repas de ta grand-mère, c'est ça?
Oui, oui.
Est-ce que tu cuisines jamaïcain?
Oui, les repas jamaïcains.
Par exemple?
Par exemple, ackee and saltfish. Et
Okay. De l'ackee à la morue salée, ok. Mhm.
Et des pains.
Pardon?
Des pains.
Des pains.
Du quinoa.
Du poulet? Chicken?
Répétez, s'il
No?
vous plaît.
I heard des pains. I'm not too sure what you mean by des pains. Do you mean du fruit à pain? Breadfruit?
Oui.
No?
Oui.
Ah, du fruit à pain.
I don't know the French words for them, so I'm trying to translate them in my mind.
Yes, okay. Okay, fruit à pain. Fruit à pain is breadfruit, okay? I'll put it in the chat. Okay, très bien. I'm just talking to Monsieur Jackson. Elle s'est très bien défendue. J'ai posé des questions et elle s'est défendue sans problème. Alors maintenant, Christine, qu'est-ce que tu fais pour aider à la maison?
Pour aider à ma maison, je fais la vaisselle, je nettoie la maison et je range les pièces.
Je range, not je rangeais.
Je range
Mm-hmm. D'accord.
les pièces.
Okay. Very quickly, just for everybody, you need to remember that ranger is the infinitive form and the ER of the infinitive form of a verb gives you the sound A. So when you conjugate your verb in the present tense, if you still have this A, it suggests that you didn't change the ending. Okay, so that's the reason why we need to remove the R. And you remember that the E at the end has no accent, so it's silent. So you just say range, you just stop at the, okay? D'accord? You got that?
Madame.
Okay. Okay. Combien de fois par semaine fais-tu le ménage? Christine, toujours Christine.
Désolée, répétez s'il vous plaît.
Combien de fois par semaine fais-tu le ménage?
Désolée, répétez s'il vous plaît.
Non. Combien de fois par semaine fais-tu le ménage?
Je fais le ménage chaque jour de la semaine.
Oh là là! Combien de fois par semaine fais-tu le ménage? So I'm putting the question here for you, okay? If you can see. Okay, so here, when you hear combien de fois par semaine or combien de fois par mois, how many times? Okay, fois, you need to remember that fois with an S. Obviously, you wouldn't know it's with an S because it's oral. But when you hear fois with combien, combien de fois, it means how many times. Okay, so we want to hear une fois par semaine, deux fois par semaine, trois fois par semaine, etc. Something like that. Okay. Donc, combien de fois par semaine fais-tu le ménage? So she said that she's doing it every day. Très bien, très bien, très bien. Est-ce que tu fais ton lit le matin, Christine?
Oui. Oh, non. Je ne fais mon lit.
Je ne fais Je ne fais
mon
Remember the negatives? We have ne and
Oh, je ne fais pas mon lit chaque matin.
Alors, Christine, you're going to explain this to me. You do the housework every day, but you don't make your bed. But that's the first thing you should do. Alors, Christine, qui fait ton lit le matin?
Ma mère fait le lit le matin.
Okay. Alors, I'm going to put in the chat now, I'm going to put qui. You need to remember that qui means who. Okay? Qui. Combien de fois, I remind you, is how many times. Okay? Est-ce que, and Kristen, you understood that, est-ce que it's really for an answer, yes or no? Yes, I'm doing it. No, I'm not doing it. Okay? So, est-ce que, as opposed to qu'est-ce que. Qu'est-ce que, and I'm going to write it as well. Qu'est-ce que is basically what. Okay? So we have to be careful because we have all those different types of questions. Okay? Bien. Rihanna, quelle est ta meilleure qualité?
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Quelle est ta meilleure qualité?
Je suis très gentille.
Je suis gentille. OK. D'accord, très bien. I'm going to type that question. It's in fact in one of my videos, but quelle est ta meilleure qualité? Students don't always understand that question. Quelle est ta meilleure qualité? Okay. Now, when you see it written, I'm sure you will understand it. But quelle est ta meilleure qualité? I remember one year this question was asked, and students were not doing too well with that one. Quelle est ta meilleure qualité? So meilleur is better. No, here is not better. It's your best. Okay. And qualité is quality. Okay. D'accord. Christine, quel est ton pire défaut?
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Quel est ton pire défaut? No?
Uh,
Okay, Rihanna, did you understand the question?
Madam,
Quel est ton pire défaut?
so it's asking what's your worst quality, or what's the worst trait then?
Yeah, not the qualities, the opposite to quality, okay? Your flaws, okay?
okay.
Can you see that? Quel est ton pire
Oh.
défaut? So interestingly, qualité is a feminine word, but défaut is masculine, okay? So be careful. Quelle est ta meilleure qualité? Quel est ton pire défaut? D'accord? So Christelle, now you understand what it is. What would you say?
Alors, je je ne suis pas un nice personne.
Je ne suis pas, pardon?
Je ne suis pas une gentille personne.
Je ne suis pas une personne gentille. OK. Vraiment? Je suis surprise, Christelle. OK, c'est vrai, Rihanna? You agree with her?
No, no.
OK. Même question pour Rihanna.
De temps en temps, je suis impatiente.
Je suis impatiente. OK. OK. Some people may say egoist, selfish. Maybe. Okay, egoist. Okay, so on the I of egoist, you have the two dots, the tréma, but I can't remember the code for that. Sorry about this. So egoist, selfish, if you don't know the word. Okay. Yes, bonsoir Tina and Christina. So well, two Tinas, in fact. Okay. Bien. Christina, sorry, not Christina. Kristen,
Madame.
as-tu un frère?
Oui, j'ai un frère, s'appelle Joshua.
Décris-moi ton frère, physiquement.
Mon frère est petit, avec les cheveux short et marron, et la peau marron.
OK. Bien. I think for the family, this is what I'm not going to spend more time on family because generally family is not really a problem. It's the others. Do you agree with me? Yes?
Oui,
Okay.
madame.
So there was a request from the two guests to do travel. So I'm going to do travel. That's what they want to do. Okay. I guess it's because that one you find it the most difficult. Is that right?
Yes, Mrs.
No?
One of the more difficult.
For you. Okay. So they requested travels because I asked them, because if you're there, you need to at least make the most of it. And they chose travel. So I'm going to season you with travel. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, so Rihanna. Alors, selon toi, quel est le moyen de transport le moins coûteux dans ton pays?
Dans mon pays, il y a des bus, des taxis et des voitures.
Des voitures? Did you
Oui,
say?
madame.
Oui. OK. Donc, quel moyen utilises-tu?
Je me déplace à pied et en bus.
D'accord. I really like your answer. She said, je me déplace à pied et en bus. Okay, that's what you said. Huh?
Oui, madame.
And I really like that. Je me déplace, se déplacer, to move about. Okay, je me déplace à pied et en bus. That's very good. Okay. Bien, le moins coûteux means the cheapest here, okay? There should be a little accent on the U, but here again, I'm not sure about the code, so I don't want to spend too much time, okay? Bien. Christine, as-tu le mal de l'air?
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
As-tu le mal de l'air? Tu comprends la question?
No, not fully, like parts of it.
Ah, ok. Rihanna, tu comprends la question?
Non, madame.
As-tu le mal de l'air? Alors, I'm going to put it in the comment and see if now that you can see it written, you understand.
Oh. Okay, I think so.
What do you think it means?
Is it like, do you dislike traveling by air? Or do you think it's bad to travel by air?
Not quite. Okay. I think the expressions you need to know is avoir le mal de mer. Maybe you know that one. And le mal de l'air. Okay, so when it's in the comment here, avoir le mal de mer means to feel seasick. Okay, you're not like moi, j'ai le mal de mer. So you can't put me on a boat, and I don't even think I would manage a cruise because j'ai le mal de mer. Okay? So, le mal de l'air is the same thing, but not with a boat. Can you tell me which means of transportation?
Well, by air.
By air, okay? So, it's the same.
Okay, so moi.
Airsick, yes. Christina is airsick. Yes, you're right. Okay.
Okay, so moi, je n'ai pas le mal de l'air.
Je n'ai pas le mal de l'air. Donc, tu as déjà voyagé? Donc, tu as déjà voyagé?
No, madame.
You've never taken the plane?
Oh.
So how do you know that you're not airsick?
Sick, sorry.
So how do you know?
Okay, so oui, j'ai voyagé en avion.
Où es-tu allé?
Je suis allée aux États-Unis, aux Bahamas et à la Martinique.
Mhm. Et combien de temps es-tu resté en Martinique?
J'ai resté à Martinique pour 2 semaines.
Okay, so for this one, it's not j'ai resté. And in fact, you knew it because you hesitated.
Yeah.
What should it be?
Je suis resté.
I knew you knew. Je suis resté en Martinique. And for the for, what did you say? What should it be?
Should it be pour or deux semaines?
Okay, you could say je suis resté 2 semaines en Martinique ou je suis resté en Martinique pendant. Okay, pendant. The pendant, the for is the pendant is the for when you are talking about a past actions. A past action, okay? Now, if you were talking about a future action, you couldn't use pendant. You would have to use pour. D'accord?
Oui, madame.
Okay. Alors, maintenant, je passe à Rihanna. As-tu déjà pris l'avion?
Oui, j'ai pris l'avion il y a 2 mois pour visiter ma grand-mère aux États-Unis.
Pour visiter ma grand-mère où?
Aux États-Unis.
Okay, it's aux États-Unis. Okay, this is a liaison is compulsory. You need to say aux États-Unis. Okay. Now, Rihanna, visiter ma grand-mère. You sure is visiter ma grand-mère?
Oh, pour rendre visite à ma grand-mère.
I knew you knew. Okay. So you have to be careful. Sometimes what you do, you tend to translate. And if you translate, this is what you're going to get, okay? Rendre visite à ma grand-mère, okay? Remember, you don't visit, visiter, okay? It's not used for someone, okay? It's only for places. So you would say rendre visite à, all right? But I knew that
Madame.
you knew.
Yes, miss.
Alors, combien de temps es-tu resté chez ta grand-mère?
Je suis restée à ma grand-mère pendant 2 semaines.
Okay, 2 semaines. Okay, you can't rester à. Okay, a would be for the place. Now, if it's a person's place, like your grandmother's, you're going to say chez. In fact, that's what I use. I said, combien de temps es-tu resté chez ta grand-mère? Okay, so you would say, je suis resté 2 semaines chez ma grand-mère. Okay, so don't forget the chez. It's like talking about the hairdressers, for example. Okay. Est-ce que tu vas chez la coiffeuse? You don't say je vais à la coiffeuse. Okay. You need to say je vais chez la coiffeuse. Okay. But you would say je vais au salon de coiffure because salon de coiffure is the place. Okay. It doesn't, when you say salon de coiffure, you don't mention anybody. Whereas when you say coiffeuse, coiffeuse is the hairdresser, is a person. So you have to use chez. The same chez we use for doctors. Okay, je vais chez le docteur. Okay. Bien. Chris, yes, you have a question?
No, miss.
Okay. Christelle, comment préfères-tu te déplacer?
Je préfère, je préfère voyager en voiture parce qu'il est plus facile et plus confortable que le transport public.
Okay, d'accord. I don't really like the word voyager. Voyager suggests like a big trip, but if you're going to school, for example, it's not a voyage. Okay, so that's the reason why we use the word se déplacer. Okay,
Oui,
so that is okay. So it's probably better to say je préfère. I'm typing it now. Je préfère me déplacer en voiture. Parce que, you said parce que c'est plus confortable. Confortable. I think that's what you said, yeah? Je préfère me déplacer en voiture parce que c'est plus confortable. Okay? So, for those who are used to using voyager, remember voyager would be, for me, would be more going abroad. Obviously, if you're going to the United States, you're going to use that. Okay? So, highly blessed. Normalement, she's saying, je reste avec grand-mère tout le temps, car ma mère travaille à l'étranger. Oh là là, ok. Highly blessed, don't forget your E, normalement. There's an E after the L. Normalement, so normalement. Okay? And also you could have said, je reste avec ma grand-mère, my grandmother. Okay? Car ma mère travaille à l'étranger. Ok, d'accord. Et and you can say je vais à voiture et je vais en voiture. En voiture, ok? Remember, for me, the way I explain it, the places which are covered, like a car, a train, a plane, it's en. And the ones which are not covered, à pied, à cheval, etc. Okay? So, normalement, yes, highly blessed. OK? Bien. Alors, Christine, pourquoi aimes-tu voyager?
Je voyage pour rendre visite à ma famille et pour découvrir les nouvelles cultures.
D'accord. Mais tu aimes voyager, oui?
Oui, j'aime voyager parce qu'il est très amusant et très différent que mon père.
OK. I'm going to type now parce que c'est. I hear very often parce qu'il. I know that il can be it, but it doesn't work here, okay? So, parce que c'est, it is. Parce que c'est amusant, etc. OK? D'accord? Donc, parce que c'est. Donc, parce que c'est amusant, and you don't pronounce the T, Kirsten, OK? Bien, highly blessed, you said, j'aime voyager. Don't forget your R. That is very important, okay? Especially if you're writing it. J'aime voyager, ER, which is the sound of your infinitive form. Parce qu'il y a, I would say, parce qu'il y a beaucoup à faire. Beaucoup à faire, beaucoup à voir. Sorry, you said beaucoup à voir et à faire. Beaucoup à voir et à faire. Okay, I'm just correcting you, highly blessed. Okay. D'accord. Bien. Est-ce que, alors, I'm talking to now Rihanna. Yes, Rihanna. Okay, Rihanna. Est-ce que tu aimes faire ta valise?
Oui, j'aime faire la valise parce que j'aime à la mode.
I don't think I've understood that.
Yes.
You like to pack your suitcase because I'm not sure I understand this.
Can I try again?
Yeah, of course.
Ok. Je n'aime pas faire la valise parce que c'est fatigant.
Okay, I prefer that.
Ok.
Je n'aime pas faire ma valise. Okay, me neither. Okay. Faire sa valise is an expression is to pack. Okay. So it's good to know just in case for we have travel because we don't know what we're going to get. So if they talk about faire sa valise means to pack. Okay. Christine, combien de valises fais-tu quand tu vas voir ta grand-mère?
Normalement, je fais un valise pour rendre visite ma grand-mère.
Mhm. Une valise.
Une valise.
Mhm. D'accord. OK. Très bien. Now I'm correcting highly blessed. Je ne fais pas de valise parce que je ne voyage pas. So I'm not packing any suitcase because I don't travel. Okay. Je ne voyage pas. Okay. Don't forget your ne. For the negative, you have the ne and the pas. Okay. Je voyage pas. I know French people say that as well, but we are going to do it correctly because it's an exam. Okay. We have to show that we know the negative form and it's je ne voyage pas. Okay? D'accord? Bien. So remember, faire la valise. Okay. Rihanna, que sais-tu de la Guadeloupe?
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Que sais-tu de la Guadeloupe? These were questions, past CXC questions.
Yes, is it asking what do I think about Guadeloupe?
Que sais-tu de la Guadeloupe? So I'm going to put it in the comment, and I'm sure you know now what it means.
Oh, what do I know about Guadeloupe?
Yes.
La Guadeloupe est un pays caraïbe et elle est yes, I'm stuck.
Rihanna, you're never stuck.
I am.
Christina Sterling, c'est un pays francophone. Très bien. So, a good way of starting, c'est un pays francophone, and then you could say where it's located. OK, c'est un pays francophone situé And you said it, dans la Caraïbe, okay? So you can say that, something like that.
Okay. So can I say those two things?
That's it.
Or just two? Okay. I thought it was second extended.
Remember, Rihanna, you have to show off, on the day. If you know
Mm-hmm.
more, you have to say it. Right?
Okay.
Don't keep any information you have. Okay, I'm going to leave you for a minute. I'm going to go to Kristen and I'm going to ask her, que sais-tu de la Martinique?
Martinique. C'est un pays francophone situé à la Caraïbe et elle a un volcan s'appelle la montagne Pelée.
Tu l'as vu? Est-ce que tu l'as vu, le volcan?
Non,
Non.
je ne vois non. Non, je n'ai jamais vu.
Non, je ne l'ai jamais vu.
Non, je ne l'ai jamais vu.
OK. D'accord, très bien. OK. I thank you, Miss Christine. I didn't hear the key. Un volcan qui s'appelle? Which is called, OK?
Oui, madame.
Donc, la Martinique est un pays francophone, est une île francophone dans la Caraïbe. Il y a un volcan qui s'appelle la montagne Pelée, for example, something like that. OK? Très bien. Très bien. Bien. Rihanna, es-tu déjà partie en croisière?
Il y a 12 ans, j'ai parti d'une croisière de la Caraïbe avec ma famille.
Okay. You want to try that again and correct yourself without my help? Because I know you know the answer. J'ai parti.
Je suis partie dans la croisière avec ma famille.
It's not dans la croisière. OK, je suis partie en croisière. OK, it's EN, en croisière avec ma famille. So I'm putting it in the comment. OK. No E en deux vues, je ne l'ai jamais vu. Marvin Jackson asked me, no E en deux vues, Jenny. No, because I was talking about the volcan. Volcan is masculine, so I didn't put any. You were talking about La Montagne Pelée. I was referring to the volcan because she said il y a un volcan. And that's why I didn't put a U, an E to the U. Okay. So remember, je suis partie en croisière. Okay. So for those who don't know that word, you need to know it because that word comes very often nowadays. And we are talking about croisière, which is, let me put the right article before, une croisière, which is a cruise. Okay. And I remember there was a year when we had a question with a cruise and students couldn't answer because they didn't know the word. Okay, so make sure you know that word. Okay, yes, Marvin, you are using la montagne, but I was asking the question about the volcan. So for me, the volcan is called la montagne Pelée, but that's why. Okay. Highly blessed, you can't say j'ai déjà parti. You have to say je suis. Je suis déjà parti. Don't forget your 13 verbs. Okay. Et la mer méditerranéenne. Méditerranéenne. Okay, not Nyon. Mer Méditerranéenne. Okay. You're all lucky, guys. You're all traveling. When I was your age, I wasn't going on to any cruise. You're very lucky. Okay. Christelle, si tu avais beaucoup d'argent, quel pays aimerais-tu voyager et pourquoi?
Si j'avais beaucoup d'argent, je voudrais visiter en Israël pour pratiquer la langue d'hébreu et pour manger la nourriture de la culture.
Très bien. Ok, donc you said je voudrais visiter. Hein? You said je voudrais visiter.
I think so.
Ok, je voudrais visiter Israël. Ok, it's not je voudrais visiter en Israël. If you want the en, it is possible, but you need to say je voudrais aller en Israël.
Oui, madame.
Okay, because the en is like the to. Okay, so you don't visit to a place. Okay, so when you use visiter is direct, but when you want to use to go to, you need to use your en or your o if the condition is masculine and so on. Okay,
Oui, madame.
d'accord?
Oui, madame.
Donc, je voudrais visiter Israël. Je voudrais aller en Israël. OK? Mhm. Très bien. Rihanna, parle-moi d'un voyage que tu as fait avec l'école.
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Parle-moi d'un voyage que tu as fait avec l'école.
Pendant mes grandes vacances l'année dernière, j'ai visité le pays s'appelle Québec avec mes camarades.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just going to stop you quickly. Quebec is not a country.
It's not.
It's not a country.
Oh. So, Miss, since you said voyager, does it have to be abroad or can it be in the island?
Okay, you're talking about Quebec in Canada, right?
Yes, Miss.
Yes. So you can use Quebec, but you can't talk about Quebec as being a country. Quebec is a province, it's not a country. The
Okay.
country is Canada.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So if
Yes,
you didn't
Miss.
use the word country, you would say je suis allée au Québec. Fine. OK. Je suis allée au Canada, au Québec, plus précisément. Fine. OK. But you can't say Quebec is a country because it's not true. Okay, so. OK, ça va?
Oui.
Bien. So, how are you feeling now with this topic?
I'm just going to
Is it
say that
getting better or getting worse?
I'm exposed to new questions. Let's just say that it's urging me
Okay,
to think on the spot.
yes. Okay, new questions. Okay, what about you, Kristen?
Well, it's the same as Rihanna, and like new ways that questions are phrased, because some of them it's just that I wasn't used to that way of putting the question. So it's exposed me to that. So I know I definitely need more practice for travel.
Yes, because what you're going to find is that from time to time, CXC is going to change the questions because they obviously know that you're going to go through a kind of routine where you're going to learn the questions and you'll have the answers. And sometimes the questions are really the same, um, but just formulated slightly differently. And when it's like that, the students panic on the day and they say, "Oh, I never heard that question." So the reason why I'm giving you all these questions, some of the questions are my own questions, by the way, and I'm putting it to you to see how you react. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what other questions are going to come up because I've noticed that almost year in, year out, there's a new question, one we've never seen before. But the answer is very similar to something we've seen before. So you can't panic because that's what happens. Students panic and say, oh gosh, I don't know. But if you know the vocabulary, but it's probably put differently, still don't panic. It's better to ask the examiner to repeat and see, okay, what is the keyword? I mean, what keyword I can go with, okay? And when you hear the keyword, then you go with that, okay? So I think that's what I wanted, is you to be exposed to new questions so that you can, you can answer without too many problems, okay? Bien. Christine, quel est le site le plus intéressant de ton pays?
Dans mon pays, ils sont plus de sites historiques comme chez de Devon et Rose Hall. Et aussi, il y a plus de plages comme James Bond.
Why do you say plus?
Um,
What exactly do you want to say there?
I think I meant say beaucoup de instead of.
Ah, okay, because yeah, I think that's what you want to say. Okay. Mhm. Ok, d'accord. Rihanna, si tu devais promouvoir la Jamaïque, que dirais-tu?
Répétez la question, s'il vous plaît.
Si tu devais promouvoir la Jamaïque, que dirais-tu?
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Ok, donc si tu devais promouvoir ton pays, que dirais-tu? It's in the comment.
Miss, I'm not seeing it in the chat.
Yeah, it's there. It is there, though. You need to scroll down, maybe. Okay, let me put it in the... Okay, if you look at the screen, it's on the screen.
Oh, I'm seeing it now.
Mhm.
Si je devais promouvoir mon pays, je dirais Jamaïque est un pays très beau avec des sites intéressants comme le Stade national, les sites historiques comme Devon House et bien sûr des plages.
Très bien. Okay, très bien. So the question here was probably a bit difficult because of the verb promouvoir. Promouvoir means to promote. Okay. So if you had to promote your country, what would you say? Okay. Now, Rihanna, don't forget, what's the word for Jamaica?
La Jamaïque.
La Jamaïque, not Jamaica. La Jamaïque. Jamaica has an article. Okay, not all countries have articles, by the way, but Jamaica has one. So we have to use it. Okay, La Jamaïque. Okay.
Oui, madame.
Okay. Bien. I don't have any more questions on transport. We've really covered mostly what would be asked or what has been asked so far in the exam regarding traveling. There, I can't think of any other questions that they have used or those type of questions. So, okay. So I'm going to move to the other topic. Remind me, Rihanna, you wanted sports, I think, sports and recreation, right?
Oui, madame.
Yes. All right. So, sports and recreation. Christine,
Madame.
quel sport pratique-t-on à ton école?
Je fais la natation à mon école parce que
Répète, s'il te plaît.
je fais la natation dans mon école.
It's not the question I ask.
No.
Quel sport pratique-t-on à ton école?
Oh, ok. Désolée. À mon école, il y a le netball, le tennis et la natation.
Très bien. Okay. This is the type of mistakes which was made before. Okay. Quel sport pratique-t-on à ton école? Okay. I'm just going to put it in the comment so that you can see. Quel sport? I didn't say quel sport pratiques-tu. If I had said tu, yes, your answer would have been fine. But I said pratique-t-on. Pratique-t-on means anybody in your school. So you have to say on pratique, ta 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 ta. Well, you said il y a, it's the same thing. Okay? But you have to listen for that. Pratiques-tu or pratique-t-on? Okay? D'accord?
Oui, madame.
Bien. Rihanna, quelles sont les activités sportives que tu fais à ton école?
Dans mon école, je joue du netball, du basket et du badminton.
Okay, so here we have to remember, je joue au. Okay, je joue au. But, highly blessed, je pratique, and pratique doesn't have a C, je pratique le foot. Okay, je pratique le foot. So if you use the verb pratiquer, you're going to use le or la. Okay, je pratique le foot, je pratique la natation. But if you say je joue, you're going to say je joue au cricket, je joue au netball, je joue au tennis, etc. Okay? So you have to be careful. It's the same thing as visiter a place and to go to a place, okay? So it's the same thing where you say je pratique le football, there's no preposition, whereas there is one when you say je joue. OK? D'accord? Bien. Ton école, that is for Christine.
Voilà.
Quelle est la spécialité sportive de ton école? Marvin, I didn't want you to say that because I was going to ask a question on that. But not now, but it's fine. Sorry, Christine, go ahead.
Okay, le sport. No. Il est.
Okay, you said il est. Who is il?
The sport.
No, the sport can't be il. It's c'est. It is.
Okay. So, c'est l'athlétisme.
C'est l'athlétisme, ok. Mm-hmm.
Oui.
Donc, you could have said, la spécialité sportive de mon école est l'athlétisme. Okay, you could have said that. Mm-hmm.
Miss, could you type that response in the chat, please?
What, the question?
Yes, both the question and the answer.
Quelle est la spécialité sportive de ton école? Okay, so you could say la spécialité, you repeat or say la spécialité sportive de mon école. So you have to remember to say mon and not ton because you're talking about your school. La spécialité sportive de mon école est l'athlétisme. L'athlétisme. Can you see that?
Oui, madame. Merci beaucoup.
Mm-hmm. Le club robotique. Oh, I don't know that. Okay, highly blessed. You need to remember to put the singular or the plural, but you have to decide, okay? You can't have les and then est, okay? And then you don't put un S at spécialité and you don't put un S at sportive, okay? So, okay, so CUB, I don't know, did you mean club? Because I don't know what CUB means, okay? And also earlier on, you wrote where. I'm going to tell you, obviously you didn't watch one of the videos I made regarding the do's and the don'ts in the exam. But way is not a word to use in an exam. Okay, it's like saying yep or something like that. Yeah, not in an exam, and you don't write it either. Okay, so in the context of the CSEC, it's better not to use way. D'accord? Bien. Christelle, quel est le sport le plus pratiqué en Jamaïque?
Le sport que plus pratiqué en Jamaïque est le football.
Ok. Alors, quel est le sport le plus pratiqué en Jamaïque? Sorry about the itrema again. I don't know where it is. Donc, quel est le sport le plus pratiqué en Jamaïque? So, le sport le plus pratiqué en Jamaïque est le football. OK? D'accord. Christine, est-ce que tu joues au football?
Non, je ne joue pas football. Le football.
Je ne joue pas
au football.
Au football. OK? D'accord, je ne joue pas au football. Très bien. Rihanna, quel est ton sport préféré?
Mon sport préféré est le cricket.
OK. Est-ce que tu es supporter d'une équipe?
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Es-tu supporter d'une équipe? Non? Supporter? Signe de commande. Christian, you understand the word supporter? Oui, Rihanna, go ahead.
Je supporte l'équipe du West Indies.
OK. Donc, tu es supporter de l'équipe de West Indies. OK. Je suis supporter. You need to say. Je suis supporter. OK. Supporter means to bear, to put up with. Okay, so which wouldn't be what you want to say, right? Okay, Christine, fais-tu partie d'une équipe?
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Fais-tu partie d'une équipe?
Oui, je suis en partie d'équipe de tennis à mon école.
Je fais partie d'une équipe. I'm going to write it for you. D'une équipe de tennis, okay? All right. So, je fais partie d'une équipe. Faire partie de, to be part of, okay? Je fais partie d'une équipe de tennis. Bien. Rihanna, qu'est-ce que tu préfères? Les sports collectifs ou les sports individuels?
Répétez, s'il vous plaît.
Qu'est-ce que tu préfères, les sports collectifs ou les sports individuels et pourquoi?
Je préfère le sport collectif parce que c'est plus amusant.
Ok, d'accord. Très bien. Ok. Donc, est-ce que tu fais partie d'une équipe?
Oui, je fais partie d'une équipe de netball à mon école.
Et vous gagnez souvent?
De temps en temps,
De temps
nous,
en temps.
yeah, oui,
Gagner means to win. Ok, gagner to win. Ok. Mhm. Bien, Christine, tu fais combien d'heures de sport par semaine?
Euh, je fais le tennis pour 3 jours pendant la semaine.
Je joue au tennis ou je fais du tennis 3 jours par semaine. Ok, d'accord. 3 jours par semaine, d'accord. Et tu le fais à l'école? Tu le fais à l'école?
Oui, madame, à mon école.
Ok, d'accord. Rihanna, est-ce que tu suis un régime?
répétez s'il vous plaît.
Est-ce que tu suis un régime?
May I ask what is regime?
Okay, I'm going to obviously you didn't watch some of my videos. I put that already in those videos. Est-ce que tu suis un régime? Kristen, do you know what that means? Est-ce que tu suis un régime?
Is it like an exercise routine of sorts?
Now it means are you on a diet?
I did not remember that.
Yeah, suivre un régime is to be on a diet. Okay. You know, some people, because they do, you know, because of their sports activities they go on a diet. Okay. And I don't know if it's your case.
D'accord. Je ne suis pas en régime parce que j'adore la nourriture.
Ok, d'accord. Très bien. Okay, so ladies, how are you feeling?
Well, some of
Feeling
the
okay.
questions are fair. Oh,
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So you've been working hard. You've been doing this for 1 hour and 38 minutes, which is a long time. So I'm going to let you go. Okay. But you need to practice the questions. Look at the questions you didn't get right and try to practice, because at the end of the day, we never know what is going to come up on the day. All right. And I'm really looking for a boy. I want to see a boy and a girl. Okay. But I don't know where to find those boys. And you know that it doesn't have to be from Jamaica, it can be from any other place. But I cannot find, I mean, the teachers are helping me, but they don't get any positive response from their students. So I have to thank very much Mr. Jackson for helping me with the students. But as I said, this is open to anyone who wants to practice on the day, and it's always good. Bonjour, Pierre. You know, there's always room to learn something. Always, always. Okay, so what we're going to do is have another live probably in 3 weeks' time or 4 weeks' time, just before the exam, to do other topics. But remember that all those topics are already on French Actions. You know, the videos are already there, so you can just look at all these videos, and the students who were on in your place, you know, on the live with me, they were there last year. Okay, so you can watch that. Sorry, you can watch that, and you will see that you can practice and get the questions. Now, I never look at my lives. In fact, I never look at my own videos. So everything that I have done, some of the questions I've come up with some questions today. Maybe they were not in the previous lives. Okay, so that's how it works. All right. So next week I'm going to have a live with O'Neill Madden, who is going to tell us about Clermont-Ferrand. He lived there for 5 years, so we're going to find out about Clermont-Ferrand. So it's going to be in English, but at least, you know, people will be able to understand and discover this city. Okay? Donc, Christine and Rihanna, merci beaucoup. Un grand, grand merci. Okay. And I'm sure you will do very well. Both of you are very good. You just need to tune in a little bit, you know, do a few, you know, adjustments from time to time, but I know you will get a good grade in your exams. Okay? So I'm going to leave you now and say thank you to everybody who was with us today, and all the best, and see you soon. Au revoir. Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.